The signal. The quantum fluctuation detector at CERN wasn't supposed to be monitoring deep space. Dr. Sarah Chen had designed it to study particle entanglement in laboratory conditions, not to pick up what appeared to be an organized pattern from somewhere beyond the Kuiper belt. Yet there it was, a signal so complex it made Earth's most advanced quantum computers look like pocket calculators. "Run it again," she ordered, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display floating above her workstation. The pattern twisted and shifted, forming structures that shouldn't have been possible according to known physics. Behind her, a team of scientists from the United Earth Space Command watched in silence as the simulation played out for the 100th time. Admiral James Rodriguez stepped forward, his weathered face illuminated by the shifting quantum signature. "Dr. Chen, in plain English, what exactly are we looking at?" Sarah ran her fingers through her short black hair, a habit she'd developed during long nights in the lab. "It's a distress call, Admiral. But the complexity. Whoever sent this isn't just broadcasting into space. They're manipulating quantum states across light years. We're not just seeing evidence of advanced technology. We're seeing something that rewrites our understanding of physics itself." The Admiral's expression remained neutral, but his voice carried the weight of command. "And you're certain this isn't natural phenomenon? Or a sensor malfunction?" A slight smile crossed Sarah's face as she pulled up another hologram, this one showing Earth's quantum communication network. "Look at this, Admiral. Our most advanced quantum computers operate on maybe a dozen entangled particles at once. This signal," she gestured to the alien pattern, "it's working with thousands, maybe millions of entangled states simultaneously. It's not just artificial, it's art." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had spent the last century preparing for first contact, building up their space force, developing defensive capabilities, and establishing protocols. But no one had expected first contact to come in the form of a cry for help. Commander David Martinez, the youngest person ever to achieve his rank in the Space Command, stepped forward. His cybernetic eyes whirred slightly as they adjusted focus. "Dr. Chen, can you determine the signal's point of origin?" Sarah nodded, bringing up a 3D map of local space. "The source is approximately 50 light-years from Earth, in the direction of the Carina constellation. What's interesting is that while the signal itself is moving at quantum speeds, effectively instantaneous, we can detect a sort of wake in space-time. Whatever sent this has some serious mass behind it." Admiral Rodriguez straightened his uniform, a habit from decades of service. "A ship, then. A big one." "Most likely," Sarah agreed. "And given the complexity of the quantum signal, I'd say it's not just big. It's carrying a lot of processing power. The kind of computing capability that could only come from a civilization significantly more advanced than ours." The Admiral turned to face the assembled team. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've spent a century wondering if we were alone in the universe. Now we know we're not. And our first alien contact is asking for help." He paused, letting the gravity of the moment sink in. Humanity's first step into the galactic community won't be as conquerors or victims. We're going to be rescuers. Commander Martinez's cybernetic eyes flashed as he processed the tactical implications. "Sir, the Prometheus is ready for its first real flight. We've completed all the quantum drive tests, and the crew is the best Earth has to offer." "And the new quantum shields?" Rodriguez asked. "Fully operational," Sarah interjected. "My team's latest innovations in quantum field manipulation should give us protection against anything we currently know how to model. Though against alien technology," she shrugged. "We'll be writing the manual as we go." The Admiral nodded slowly, his decision already made. "Dr. Chen, how quickly can you copy your quantum detection setup to the Prometheus? We'll need your expertise on this mission." Sarah's eyes lit up with excitement. She'd spent her career studying quantum mechanics in the safety of her lab. Now she was about to see her theories tested against actual alien technology. "Give me 12 hours. I'll have everything we need." "You have 6, Rodriguez replied. Humanity's first faster-than-light ship is about to make its maiden voyage, and we're heading straight into unknown territory. He turned to address the entire room. I don't need to remind any of you that this mission goes beyond any one nation or organization. We're representing Earth now. Whatever we find out there, we need to show the best of what humanity has to offer. As the room burst into activity, Sarah turned back to her quantum displays. The alien signal pulsed with an almost musical rhythm, its complexity hinting at technology she could barely imagine. Yet something about it felt almost familiar, like the quantum equivalent of a human heartbeat. We're coming, she whispered to the signal. Hold on. The rescue. The Prometheus cut through space-time like a blade through silk, its quantum drive humming with power that humanity had only dreamed of a decade ago. On the bridge, Dr. Sarah Chen watched as her instruments tracked the growing distortion ahead of them, a massive object that had torn a ragged hole in the fabric of space itself. Reading multiple energy signatures, Commander Martinez reported, his cybernetic eyes processing data faster than any human could. The vessel appears to be rotating through multiple dimensions simultaneously. No wonder their quantum signature was so complex. Admiral Rodriguez leaned forward in his command chair. Life signs. Thousands, Martinez confirmed. But they're flickering, like they're phasing in and out of our reality. Sarah's fingers flew across her console as she correlated the quantum readings. Their dimensional stabilizers must be failing. They're not just stuck in space. They're stuck between dimensions. If we don't act fast, that ship and everyone on it will be scattered across multiple realities. The alien vessel finally came into visual range, and a collective gasp went up from the bridge crew. It was beautiful and impossible, a structure that seemed to fold in on itself, its crystalline surface reflecting light that hadn't been emitted yet. Parts of it appeared transparent, showing internal structures that hurt the human eye to look at, while other sections seemed to exist in spaces that shouldn't have been there. Their quantum field is collapsing, Sarah announced, her voice tense. We have maybe 20 minutes before total dimensional failure. Rodriguez turned to her. Options. Sarah took a deep breath. We can use our quantum shields to extend a stabilization field around their vessel, but we'll need to modify the frequency to match their dimensional variance. It's like trying to catch smoke with a net, but the smoke exists in 5 dimensions at once. Can you do it? A smile crossed her face. Sir, this is exactly what my team at CERN had been working on. We just never thought we'd be testing it on this scale. She turned to Martinez. Commander, I'll need direct access to the shield generators. We're going to have to rewrite some fundamental laws of physics on the fly. The next 15 minutes were a blur of activity. Sarah's fingers danced across holographic controls as she reconfigured the Prometheus's quantum shields, while Martinez used his cybernetic enhancements to process the massive streams of data needed to track the alien ship's dimensional drift. Field stability at 15%. Sarah called out. 20, 25. She gritted her teeth as the ship's generators whined in protest. We need more power. Rodriguez didn't hesitate. Divert power from all non-essential systems. Life support to minimum. Every spare joule goes to those shields. The lights dimmed across the Prometheus as energy flowed into the quantum stabilization field. On the main viewer, the alien vessel's erratic dimensional shifting began to slow. It's working, Martinez reported. Their quantum signature is stabilizing. Wait. His cybernetic eyes widened. We're receiving a transmission. It's coming through on the same quantum frequency as the distress call. The bridge's holographic display flickered to life, showing what appeared to be the alien vessel's command center. The beams there were unlike anything humanity had imagined, shifting forms of crystalline energy that pulsed with complex patterns of light. One of the forms moved forward, its light patterns forming what seemed to be an expression of desperate hope. When it spoke, its words were translated through the quantum field itself, appearing in their minds as concepts rather than sounds. Asterisk you came. We had detected your quantum experiments, but we never imagined. You are so young, yet you understood our call. Asterisk. Sarah stepped forward. We couldn't ignore someone in need. I'm Dr. Sarah Chen of Earth. We've stabilized your dimensional variance for now, but we need to get you to safety. The crystalline being's patterns shifted in what might have been surprise. Asterisk you achieved quantum stabilization with such primitive technology. Impossible. Yet we see it. Your species, you think differently. You make connections we would never consider. Asterisk. Speaking of connections, Martinez interjected, we're picking up more ships approaching. A lot more. The aliens' light patterns turned dark. Asterisk the hegemony. They believe dimensional technology should be restricted to mature species. They left us to die rather than risk younger races learning our secrets. Asterisk. Rodriguez stood. Well, they're about to learn that humanity doesn't abandon people in need, no matter what dimension they're from. He turned to his crew. Battle stations. Dr. Chen, can we extend our quantum shields around their entire ship? Sarah was already running calculations. Yes, but we'll need to modify our engines to compensate for the mass. Commander Martinez, if you can link your neural processors to our quantum core. Martinez nodded, connecting directly to the ship's systems through his cybernetic interface. Ready when you are, Doctor. The crystalline being's patterns swirled with confusion. Asterisk you would risk conflict with the hegemony. For beings you've just met. Asterisk. Sarah looked up from her calculations with a determined smile. That's something you'll learn about humans. We're very good at improvising, and we're even better at standing up to bullies. As if in response to her words, space seemed to tear open around them as the hegemony fleet arrived. Dozens of ships that looked like they'd been built by beings who had mastered the laws of physics long ago. Rodriguez settled back into his command chair, his expression calm. Dr. Chen, Commander Martinez, show them what humanity can do when we put our minds to it. All hands, prepare for dimensional jump. We're about to rewrite the rules of space-time. The crystalline beings watched in amazement as the primitive human vessel, barely a century into its species' space age, prepared to challenge the established order of the galaxy. Not through superior technology or overwhelming force, but through sheer determination and the ability to see solutions where others saw only problems. The battle for dimensional freedom was about to begin, and humanity was ready to prove that sometimes the youngest species could teach the oldest some new tricks. The warning. The hegemony ships hung in space like dark stars, their ancient technology radiating power that made the quantum sensors on the Prometheus scream in protest. The lead vessel, a massive construct that seemed to bend reality around it, transmitted a message that echoed through both space and consciousness. Asterisk primitive vessels are forbidden from accessing dimensional technology. Stand down and prepare for quarantine. Asterisk. Admiral Rodriguez exchanged glances with Sarah before responding. This is Admiral James Rodriguez of Earth. We're conducting a rescue operation of sentient beings. We don't recognize your authority to interfere. The crystalline beings aboard their damaged ship flickered anxiously. Their leader, who had introduced itself as Symphony of Light, transmitted directly to Sarah's quantum interface. Asterisk. Hegemony does not negotiate with young species. They believe the cosmos has a natural order that must be maintained. Asterisk. Sarah's fingers never stopped moving across her console as she spoke. Commander Martinez, are you seeing these readings? Their ships are generating some kind of quantum suppression field. Martinez's cybernetic eyes wared as they processed the data. Confirmed. They're trying to force all quantum states into classical alignment. If that field hits us, our shields will fail. Sarah finished. Along with our drives, and probably your neural interfaces. She paused, then smiled suddenly. But they're thinking in linear terms. Commander, remember that quantum tunneling experiment we ran last week? Martinez's artificial eyes widened. That was a simulation with 3 particles. This would be. Sometimes the craziest ideas are the best ones, Sarah said, already reprogramming the quantum core. Admiral, I have a plan, but it's unconventional. Rodriguez watched as the hegemony ships began to move into attack formation. Doctor, unconventional is exactly what we need right now. The next few minutes were a blur of activity as Sarah and Martinez reconfigured the Prometheus' systems. The crystalline beings watched in fascination as the humans worked, their light patterns showing expressions that might have been concern or amazement. Asterisk, your approach is impossible. Asterisk, symphony of light transmitted. Asterisk, you cannot quantum tunnel an entire ship. Asterisk. Watch us, Sarah replied, her voice filled with the particular confidence that came from attempting something that every textbook said couldn't be done. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our ability to think beyond established limits. The hegemony's suppression field began to close in, reality itself seeming to crystallize in its wake. But Sarah had noticed something in their patterns, a fundamental assumption in their technology that they'd never thought to question. They're trying to force quantum states into classical behavior, she explained to Rodriguez. But what if we do the opposite? What if we embrace quantum uncertainty on a massive scale? Martinez connected directly to the ship's quantum core through his neural interface. Ready when you are, Doctor. Though I should mention that if this goes wrong, we'll probably scatter our constituent atoms across several thousand parallel universes. Well, Rodriguez said dryly, at least it won't be boring. Execute. Sarah activated her modified quantum drive, and reality shifted. The Prometheus didn't just tunnel through space, it tunneled through possibility itself. For a fraction of a second, they existed in every possible state simultaneously. The hegemony's suppression field, designed to enforce classical physics, simply couldn't affect something that wasn't choosing any single state of existence. Through the quantum haze, Sarah saw the crystalline beings' patterns pulse with what might have been laughter. Their ship, linked to the Prometheus through the stabilization field, followed them through the quantum tunnel. When reality reasserted itself, they were light years away from the hegemony fleet. But something had changed. The quantum sensors were picking up new patterns, echoes of possibilities they'd brushed against during their impossible journey. Admiral, Martins reported, his voice tense. I'm detecting something. It's like a quantum shadow, but it's growing, spreading across the galaxy through quantum entanglement networks. Symphony of Light's patterns turned dark with recognition. Asterisk, the quantum collapse. We hoped it was only a theory, but your unprecedented manipulation of quantum states has accelerated something that was already beginning. Asterisk. What exactly is the quantum collapse? Rodriguez asked, though his expression suggested he already suspected the answer wouldn't be good. Asterisk, reality itself is becoming unstable. Asterisk, the crystalline being explained. Asterisk, hegemony's enforced order was actually holding back a natural quantum evolution of the universe. By breaking their suppression, you've started a cascade that will eventually affect all of space-time. Asterisk. Sarah stared at her readings, her mind racing through possibilities. So we didn't just escape the hegemony. We accidentally started the end of the universe as we know it. Asterisk, not the end. Asterisk, Symphony of Light corrected. Asterisk, a transformation. And perhaps that is why we were drawn to your signal. Your species sees quantum mechanics differently than any we've encountered. You don't try to control it or suppress it. You dance with it. Asterisk. Martinez's cybernetic eyes focused on something only he could see. The quantum shadow is forming patterns. It's almost like it's trying to communicate, Sarah finished. The universe itself is waking up, becoming conscious through quantum entanglement. She turned to Rodriguez. Admiral, I don't think we're running from the hegemony anymore. I think we're midwives to a cosmic transformation. Rodriguez looked at the shifting patterns on the main viewer, where reality itself seemed to be developing new and strange forms of order. Well, he said with a slight smile, humanity wanted to make its mark on the universe. I don't think anyone expected we'd do it quite so literally. As the Prometheus hung in space, its human crew and crystalline passengers watched the beginning of a transformation that would reshape the galaxy. They had set out to perform a rescue, but in doing so, they had accidentally triggered something far larger. A quantum revolution that would force every species to adapt to a new kind of reality. And somehow, humanity's unique way of thinking might be the key to navigating this brave new quantum universe. The innovation. The quantum transformation spread across the galaxy like ripples in a cosmic pond, each wave bringing new changes to the fabric of reality. Aboard the Prometheus, Sarah Chen watched as her instruments tracked phenomena that should have been impossible. The quantum entanglement network is evolving, Martins reported, his cybernetic systems struggling to process the flood of new data. It's not just carrying information anymore. It's developing consciousness. Symphony of Light's crystalline form, pulsed with complex patterns. The universe seeks balance. For too long, the hegemony forced classical order upon quantum chaos. Now that balance shifts throughout the ship, reality itself seemed to flicker and dance. Crew members reported strange phenomena. Objects existing in multiple states simultaneously, thoughts becoming briefly visible as quantum patterns in the air, and moments where past and future seemed to overlap. Admiral Rodriguez maintained his characteristic calm, even as his coffee cup existed in 3 places at once. Dr. Chen, what exactly are we dealing with here? Sarah's eyes never left her quantum displays. It's like, imagine the universe is a computer running on classical physics. What we've done is essentially upgraded to quantum computing. Everything is becoming more fluid, more interconnected. She paused, watching new patterns emerge. But it's not chaos. It's a new kind of order, one that embraces uncertainty instead of fighting it. A sudden alert from Martins drew everyone's attention. Multiple ships detected. The hegemony fleet. They found us. But there's something wrong with their ships. The main viewer showed the approaching hegemony vessels, but they were different now. Their once perfect geometric forms were shifting, their rigid technology struggling to maintain consistency in the newly quantum-enhanced space. Their technology cannot adapt. Symphony of Light observed. They built their civilization on forcing the universe to obey their rules. Now those rules are changing. Sarah's expression shifted as an idea formed. But our technology can adapt. Humans built our quantum systems to work with uncertainty, not against it. She turned to Martinez. Commander, remember how we linked your neural interface to the quantum core? What if we did that ship-wide? Created a kind of quantum consciousness network. Martinez's cybernetic eyes widened. You want to network the entire crew's consciousness through the quantum field. That's crazy? Sarah grinned. Welcome to the new universe. Rodriguez considered for a moment, watching as reality rippled around them. Do it, but participation is voluntary. The next hour was a blur of activity as Sarah and Martinez modified the ship's systems. Crew members who volunteered were connected to a quantum network that linked not just their thoughts, but their quantum states. The crystalline beings helped, their natural affinity for quantum mechanics proving invaluable. As the hegemony fleet approached, something remarkable happened. The networked consciousness of the Prometheus's crew began to resonate with the quantum field itself. They could feel the pulse of space-time, the dance of possibilities. This is incredible, Sarah breathed, experiencing reality on levels she'd never imagined. Through the quantum network, she could sense every crew member, every system of the ship, even the spreading waves of quantum transformation. You've done it. Symphony of Light transmitted, their patterns showing something like awe. You found a way to surf the quantum wave instead of being overwhelmed by it. The hegemony ships opened fire, their weapons designed to enforce classical physics through brute force. But the Prometheus, guided by its networked quantum consciousness, simply shifted through probability states, the attacks passing through space where they might have been but weren't. Martinez, his cybernetic systems now fully integrated with the quantum field, laughed. They're still trying to fight using old rules. They don't understand. The game has changed. Through their quantum-enhanced perception, the crew could see the hegemony ships beginning to break down, their rigid technology unable to maintain coherence in the evolving universe. But they could also see something else. The fear of the beings aboard those ships, their desperate attempt to maintain the order they'd known for millennia. Sarah turned to Rodriguez, both physically and through the quantum link. "Admiral, I think we can help them. Not by fighting, but by showing them how to adapt." Rodriguez nodded, understanding flowing through the network. The Prometheus began broadcasting on all frequencies, both classical and quantum, sending not just a message but an experience, showing how to embrace uncertainty, how to flow with the quantum tide instead of against it. At first, nothing happened. Then, slowly, ships in the hegemony fleet began to change, not breaking down, but transforming, their technology and crews learning to exist in the new quantum reality. Asterisk, "This is not our way," asterisk, came a transmission from the hegemony flagship, but the words held more wonder than anger now. "The old way is changing," Rodriguez replied. "We can help you change with it. Humanity may be young, but we understand something your civilization forgot. The universe isn't meant to be controlled. It's meant to be danced with." As the quantum transformation continued to spread, the Prometheus hung in space between the old universe and the new, its crew linked in a network of consciousness that bridged the gap between classical and quantum reality. They had not only survived the change, they had learned to thrive in it, and now they could teach others to do the same. The galaxy was transforming, and humanity, against all odds, was helping to guide that transformation, not through force or ancient technology, but through their unique ability to adapt, to think differently, and to see beauty in the dance of uncertainty. The resolution. 6 months after the beginning of the quantum transformation, Earth's orbital space had become nearly unrecognizable. Structures that existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously hung like crystalline webs between conventional satellites. Ships from a dozen alien species moved through spaces that were more probability than matter, their crews learning to navigate the new reality from human instructors. In the quantum-enhanced conference room of the newly established Galactic Cooperation Center, Dr. Sarah Chen stood before representatives of both the former hegemony and the emerging quantum species. Her own form flickered slightly, a side effect of prolonged exposure to the new quantum reality. "The transformation has stabilized," she reported, gesturing to a display that showed the galaxy in both classical and quantum states simultaneously. "We're seeing a natural balance emerging between traditional spacetime and quantum reality. The universe isn't ending, it's evolving." The hegemony representative, their once rigid form now flowing with quantum possibilities, spoke with a mixture of humility and wonder. Asterisk, "We spent millennia trying to prevent this, believing it would bring chaos. Instead, it has brought harmony." Asterisk. Symphony of Light, now serving as ambassador for the crystalline species, pulsed with agreement. Asterisk, "The humans showed us that chaos and order are not opposites, but partners in a cosmic dance." Asterisk. Commander Martinez, his cybernetic systems now fully integrated with the quantum field, brought up a new set of readings. His artificial eyes had evolved too, allowing him to perceive multiple quantum states at once. "We're detecting new forms of consciousness emerging in the quantum network. The universe itself is becoming aware, but not in a way that threatens existing life. It's more like, it's inviting us to join a conversation." Admiral Rodriguez, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. "That's why we've called this gathering. Humanity proposes the establishment of a new kind of galactic community, not one based on technological advancement or age, but on the ability to adapt and grow together." The quantum displays showed images from across Earth, children playing with quantum-enhanced toys that existed in multiple states at once, scientists working with alien colleagues to understand the new physics, artists creating works that stretched across multiple dimensions of reality. Sarah took over, her voice carrying the weight of both scientific authority and wonder. We've learned that the universe isn't a place of rigid rules and hierarchies. It's a dance of possibilities, and every species brings its own steps to that dance. She gestured, and the quantum field around them shifted, showing the transformation's effects across the galaxy. The hegemony brought order and stability. The crystalline beings brought their understanding of quantum mechanics and humanity. She smiled. We brought our ability to adapt, to see patterns in chaos, to find solutions where others saw only problems. Asterisk, but what of the dangers? Asterisk asked a representative from a newly emerged quantum species. Asterisk, such power, such flexibility in reality itself. Asterisk, that's exactly why we need each other, Rodriguez replied. The hegemony's mistake wasn't in seeking order. It was in trying to impose it alone. Together, we can maintain balance. Different species, different perspectives, all contributing to the greater whole. Martinez brought up a new display, showing the quantum consciousness network that now spanned the galaxy. We're already connected in ways we never imagined possible. Every thought, every discovery, every moment of wonder can be shared across light years instantly. But we maintain our individuality, our unique perspectives, unity without uniformity. The quantum field rippled with the combined emotions of all present, hope, excitement, and a touch of healthy uncertainty about the future. Symphony of Light's patterns formed what had become recognizable as their version of a smile. Asterisk, when we sent that distress signal. Asterisk, they transmitted. Asterisk, we hoped only for rescue. Instead, we found partners in transformation. The younger species we once looked down upon has become our teacher. Asterisk. Sarah walked to the center of the room, where the quantum field was strongest. Around her, reality itself seemed to pulse with potential. We stand at a threshold, she said, not just between classical and quantum space, but between what we were and what we might become. Every species here has something vital to contribute to this new age. She raised her hand, and the quantum field responded, creating a display of infinite possibility. All the paths the future might take. This is humanity's gift to the galaxy. Not just our technology or our adaptability, but our understanding that the most beautiful dances are those we share with others. The gathered representatives, their forms both solid and quantum, traditional and transformed, reached a consensus. The new Galactic Quantum Council would guide the galaxy's development, with all species contributing their unique perspectives and abilities. As the meeting concluded, Admiral Rodriguez found Sarah staring out at Earth through both physical and quantum senses. Quite a change from analyzing particle collisions at CERN, he observed. Sarah laughed. You know what the most remarkable thing is? We're still doing exactly what humanity has always done, exploring, adapting, bringing people together to solve problems. We've just expanded our definition of people and problems a bit. The quantum field around them sparkled with possibilities, each one a potential future where different species learned and grew together. Above them, Earth glowed in both normal space and quantum reality, a beacon of innovation and adaptation in a transformed galaxy. Humanity had taken its place among the stars not as conquerors or subjects, but as teachers and students, partners in the greatest transformation the galaxy had ever known. And this was just the beginning.